So, you want to own a car wash, a piece of land, a tunnel, some soap, spinning brushes, a few vacuums, and a line of cars paying $10, $15, or $25 to move through a machine that does most of the work. From the outside, it looks like one of the cleanest businesses in America. No kitchen, no food inventory, no waiters, no one sending back a steak because it is slightly too medium, just dirty cars going in and shiny cars coming out. Add monthly memberships, and the dream gets even better. Customers pay every month, whether they wash their car or not. The customer feels like they are saving money, the owner gets recurring revenue, and the bank sees predictable cash flow. At least that is the story. And that story is a big part of why people overpay for car washes. Because a wash can have a line around the building, thousands of members, and a brand new tunnel, yet still turn into a poor investment if the land, the debt, the equipment, the weather, or the competition is even slightly wrong. The customer thinks they are buying a clean car. The owner is really selling speed, convenience, location, and a subscription people may forget to cancel. And the whole thing depends on everything working at once. The location has to be right, the machines have to keep moving, the weather has to cooperate, the memberships have to stick, and the loan payment has to survive the months when none of that happens. So let's buy a car wash, not the fantasy version, the real one. Part 1. The giant vending machine. A car wash looks simple because the customer's experience is simple. You pull in, you choose a wash, you pay, you put the car in neutral, and 3 minutes later, you drive away. That simplicity is powerful. A restaurant has to prepare food correctly every time. A hotel has to clean rooms. A gym has to manage crowds. A daycare has staffing rules, licenses, and anxious parents. A car wash looks like a vending machine big enough to drive through. The service is fast, the product is visible, and the process is standardized. Dirty car in, clean car out. That makes the business seem almost passive. But the customer only sees the foam. They do not see the real estate deal, the construction loan, the conveyor, the reclaim tank, the pumps, the dryers, the sewer fees, the chemical contracts, the payment software, the insurance, the repairs, and the loan payment waiting at the end of every month. A car wash is not an expensive business because the service is complicated. It is an expensive business that hides its complexity behind a 3-minute ride. That is the first thing to understand. The business is easy to grasp. It is not always easy to own. Part 2. What the business really sells. Most people think a car wash sells clean cars. That is only partly true. If cleanliness were the only product, people would wash their cars at home, wait for rain, or always pick the cheapest option. A successful car wash sells something more valuable: convenience. It fixes a visible problem quickly without asking the customer to do any work. And most importantly, it sells location. A car wash in the wrong place is expensive machinery sitting on land. A car wash in the right place becomes a habit. You pass it on the way home, you notice your car is dirty, the line looks short, and you turn in. That single decision, repeated thousands of times a month, is the entire business. Very few people drive 30 minutes for an ordinary wash. They choose the place that is convenient at the exact moment they notice the dirt. So the business is not really about having the best soap. It is about sitting in the right traffic pattern, which means visibility, easy access, nearby customers with money to spend, and enough room for cars to line up without spilling into the road. And not all traffic is useful traffic. If drivers cannot turn in easily, they keep going. If the entrance is confusing, they skip it. If the exit is annoying, they remember. A busy road means very little when half the cars cannot safely reach you. The first hidden bill is the land. Part 3. 3 very different businesses. When someone says car wash, they may be describing 3 completely different investments. The first is the self-serve bay, where customers use a wand, a brush, and a timer to clean the car themselves. These sites tend to have lower labor and lower building costs, but they also collect smaller tickets and give the owner less control over the experience. The second is the in-bay automatic, where you pull into one spot and wait while the machine moves around the car. These fit on smaller properties and are common at gas stations, but they can only wash one vehicle at a time. The third is the express tunnel, and this is the model investors love. Cars move through on a conveyor, so the site can process far more vehicles per hour, offer several wash packages, sell monthly memberships, and give away free vacuums. A busy tunnel can push through more than 100 cars an hour, while an in-bay automatic might manage 20 on a good day. But the express tunnel is also where the numbers get dangerous. The land is larger, the construction is more expensive, the equipment is more complex, and the business needs a steady river of cars to support the debt. The express tunnel is what made car washes look like a gold rush. It is also where one bad assumption can become a multi-million-dollar mistake. Part 4. The Revenue Machine. The basic menu sounds simple. Maybe the cheapest wash is $10, the middle wash is $16, and the premium wash is $25. The expensive options pile on wax, tire shine, an underbody rinse, or a ceramic product with a name that sounds like it was developed for the space program. The menu is designed to nudge customers away from the cheapest choice, and the logic is quietly brilliant. The car is already in line. The tunnel is already running. Adding a better chemical package costs the owner very little, while the customer pays several dollars more for it. That gap is where the margin lives. But individual washes are not the dream. The dream is the monthly membership. Pay one price, wash as often as you like. For the customer, the math feels obvious. If one wash costs $16 and the membership costs $30, washing twice almost pays for the plan. Here is the part the customer does not see. Across the industry, the average member washes their car only about 2 to 3 times a month. So the ideal customer pays every month, uses the wash occasionally, and never thinks too hard about the charge. The least ideal customer washes every other day, arrives during the busiest hour, camps out at the vacuum for half an afternoon, and reports that the tire shine missed 3 inches of rubber. This is where the car wash starts to resemble a gym. A gym wants thousands of members. It does not want all of them showing up at 6 p.m. on Monday. A car wash lives with the same tension. It wants subscribers. It does not want every subscriber treating the tunnel like they are prepping a vehicle for auction. The business is not trying to sell one wash. It is trying to turn cleanliness into a monthly habit, and that is where the story gets much bigger. Part 5. Why investors rushed in. For decades, most car washes were local businesses. Some were family-owned, some were bolted onto gas stations, and some were small regional chains. Then investors started looking at them differently. The industry was fragmented. The service was easy to understand. The labor needs were lighter than in restaurants or retail. The property carried real estate value, and monthly memberships created recurring revenue. That last part changed the story. A single wash selling one-time services is a local business. A chain with a large membership base starts to look like a subscription company sitting on top of real estate. Predictable monthly cash flow is exactly what large operators and private equity firms are built to buy. The playbook wrote itself. Buy small locations, standardize the pricing, add payment technology, sharpen the marketing, push memberships, and build a regional brand. By 2025, private equity had rolled up thousands of sites this way, and the logic held together well. But when everyone discovers the same opportunity, the opportunity changes. Good sites get more expensive. Construction costs rise. Competitors copy the same membership offers word for word. Suddenly, the question is no longer whether car washes can make money. The question is how much you paid for the chance to compete for it. Part 6. The bill before the first wash. Before the business earns a single dollar, someone has to build it or buy it. A modern express tunnel needs land, permits, concrete, drainage, plumbing, and electrical work, and that is before the tunnel building itself goes up. Then come the pay stations, vacuum stations, water systems, pumps, conveyors, dryers, chemicals, signs, and landscaping, plus enough pavement for dozens of cars to wait without creating a traffic disaster. Depending on the market, a ground-up express tunnel commonly runs somewhere between $3 and $5 million before the first customer ever arrives. That is the number that turns a simple business into a serious real estate bet. And cheap land is usually cheap for a reason. Maybe the traffic is weak, maybe the access is terrible, maybe the zoning is a nightmare, maybe the lot is too small, or maybe 3 newer washes already sit within a couple of miles. The machine does not create demand. It only captures the demand the location hands it. A mediocre wash on an excellent site can survive. An excellent wash on a bad site fights geography every single day. And if the project was financed with heavy debt, the monthly payment starts before the customer base is anywhere near ready. The bank does not care that your grand opening banner is still hanging up. Part 7. The machine is the business. A car wash may not need a chef, but it runs on a building full of machines that behave a lot like employees. They need maintenance, they break at inconvenient times, and when one important system stops, the whole business can stop with it. Think about what happens when a restaurant loses its soda machine. It shrugs and keeps selling dinner. Now think about what happens when a car wash loses its tunnel. It may have nothing left to sell at all. The conveyor, the pumps, the dryers, the payment kiosks, and the water system are not accessories. They are the product. And downtime does more than erase a day's revenue. It frustrates members who are already paying every month. One closure is annoying. Repeated closures make the subscription feel foolish, and a member who feels foolish is a member halfway to canceling. The car wash has to feel effortless to the customer, and maintaining that illusion is quietly expensive. Part 8. Every unlimited wash has a cost. Every vehicle that rolls through consumes some mix of water, electricity, chemicals, heat, equipment life, and staff time. Modern systems can reclaim and reuse water, which helps, but recycling water does not make utilities free. There are still fresh water charges, sewer fees, chemical costs, power bills, waste handling, cold weather headaches, and routine maintenance. Every extra wash creates a little more of all of it. That is why unlimited memberships are not magic. A customer who pays every month and washes once or twice is genuinely profitable. A customer who washes every other day is real usage. More water, more chemicals, more wear, and more congestion during the exact hours the owner can least afford it. Unlimited is excellent marketing. Operationally, it is a promise the equipment has to keep. And here is where the business gets genuinely strange. The owner is not only trying to attract customers, the owner is trying to shape their behavior. Subscribe, but do not overuse. Visit often, but not during the rush. Choose premium, but do not expect perfection. Create a line, but never let the line look too long. Manage all of that well, and a crowded car wash is a great business. Manage it poorly, and a crowded car wash can still be fragile. Part 9. Busy does not mean profitable. A line of cars looks impressive, but busy only proves that people are using the wash. It says nothing by itself about whether the owner is making money. A site can be busy because its prices are too low. It can be busy because unlimited members are washing constantly. It can be packed for 2 hours and dead for the rest of the day. It can post strong revenue and still drown in debt. It can even sit on land that would earn more as apartments or retail than it ever will as a tunnel. The customer sees a line. The owner sees average ticket, labor, churn, repair costs, chemical usage, debt payments, and the value of the dirt underneath the building. That gap between a popular business and a good investment is where most of the money is won or lost. Part 10. The math can turn quickly. Let's put real numbers on it. Imagine a car wash with 2,000 members paying $30 a month. That is $60,000 in monthly membership revenue. Now add 6,000 individual washes at an average of 15 ohms, which brings in another $90,000. Total monthly revenue is $150,000. That sounds excellent until you subtract the costs. Labor might run $25,000. Utilities, chemicals, and maintenance might take another $25,000. Insurance, software, advertising, and administration might eat $15,000. Debt or property costs might swallow $60,000. What's left is about $25,000 a month before taxes and before anything goes wrong. Still attractive. Now let the real world get slightly less perfect. A competitor opens down the road. The industry's average monthly churn sits near 8%, so on a base of 2,000 members, you are already losing roughly 150 people a month and have to replace them just to stand still. Add a slow patch where retail traffic drops 10%, a single major repair that costs $30,000, and an interest rate that came in higher than the model assumed. The business does not need to collapse for the return to vanish. A few ordinary problems, all in the same quarter, can quietly erase most of the profit. That is the danger built into any high fixed cost business. The upside looks large because the system can process so many customers. The downside is that the bills keep arriving even when the customers do not. Part 11. Weather and competition. Weather adds a whole layer of uncertainty. Snow, road salt, dust, and mud can create enormous demand. A few straight days of rain can make customers wait since no one washes a car right before a storm. Freezing temperatures can shut operations down entirely. Seasonal markets swing between long lines and empty lots. Memberships are supposed to smooth all of this out, and they do, but recurring revenue only stays recurring while customers still believe the plan is worth it. Then there is competition, and this is the part that catches good operators off guard. Picture your site finally clicking. Memberships are climbing, the tunnel is humming, the numbers look right. Then a new express wash opens 2 miles away with newer equipment, free vacuums, brighter lights, and a first-month membership priced to feel almost free. Now you have to advertise more, discount more, keep the property cleaner, sharpen the experience, and fight to stop your own members from switching. A market does not need an unlimited number of tunnels. At some point, every new wash is just chasing the same dirty cars. And once your building is finished and your debt is signed, you cannot make the tunnel smaller. The costs are fixed. The demand is not. Part 12. Who wins? The best operators tend to share 5 advantages. The first is a great location and not simply a high traffic one. It has to be traffic that can easily enter, wait, and exit. The second is manageable debt because a car wash can absorb a lot of mistakes when the loan payment leaves room to breathe. The third is strong operations. A clean property, working equipment, a line that keeps moving, and staff who sell memberships without making the customer feel trapped in a timeshare presentation. The fourth is membership retention because the most valuable wash is not the one you sell today. It is the plan that is still active next month. And the fifth is scale, since larger operators can negotiate better chemical prices, spread advertising across many sites, invest in better technology, and shift experienced staff between locations. Small operators can absolutely still win. They simply have less room to be wrong. The buyer who struggles is the one who believes the passive income pitch, pays a premium price, borrows aggressively, and only then discovers that automatic equipment still demands active management. The car wash is automatic. The business is not. Part 13. Why they are everywhere. So why are so many car washes still going up? Because the pitch is genuinely compelling. A simple service, low inventory, recurring memberships, visible demand, real estate underneath the whole thing, the possibility of strong margins, and a fragmented industry ripe to be combined into larger chains. In the right market, all of that can be true at once. But when an investment story gets this attractive, money floods in, and the hidden bill changes shape. It is no longer just water, equipment, and labor. It becomes over-competition. Too many tunnels, too many discounts, too much debt, and too many investors quietly assuming memberships will grow forever. The industry does not struggle because the model was fake. It struggles in some markets because the opportunity was real enough for too many people to chase at once. And that is often the most dangerous kind of investment. Not a bad business, a good business bought at a bad price. Final payoff. Yes, a car wash can be an excellent business. But not because it is simple. It works when the land is right, the debt is survivable, the machines stay reliable, and enough customers turn convenience into a recurring habit. The customer sees foam, lights, water, and a clean windshield. The owner sees a real estate decision, a financing decision, a subscription business, a maintenance operation, a weather-sensitive service, a local competition problem, and a machine that has to keep moving for the math to work. From the road, it looks like soap, water, and a line of cars. Underneath, it is land, debt, equipment, utilities, weather, competition, and customer psychology, all packed into one tunnel. The car comes out clean. The investment only works if the numbers do too. If you want more breakdowns of ordinary businesses and the costs hiding underneath them, subscribe to The Hidden Bill. Because the simplest looking businesses often send the most complicated invoices.